What's up, Cyclone Nation? Early morning here on the 20th of November. Iowa State and Oklahoma getting ready to go at it. Let's wait for a little few people to join us here and thank our sponsors.
So, my life gets crazy with Brooke and Blake and a husband that works 80 hours a day, a week, and I decided to start my own business on top of it, which is insanely crazy. But thanks to the Iowa Clinic, they made it easy to see my doctor. And when I get there, she listens. So I feel like I have a partner. And before you know it, I can get back to my crazy busy, insanely busy life where I have a busy business, busy husband, and busy twins. Oh no, where's Brooke? There she is. Care how you want it. Visit iowaclinic.com.
All right. Thanks to the Iowa Clinic and also Farm Story Meats. Remember Farm Story Meats today? I think it's or coming up that Small Business Saturday. This is a good opportunity to give back to um, a bunch of small businesses when you factor in the great local farms that provide that meat. So check them out. And of course, thanks to the Iowa Clinic and the Iowa Clinic Men's Center for their support of what we do here at Cyclone Fanatics. So you guys know how the live ones go. This is interactive. If you have questions, feel free to chat them in here. I will get to as many of your comments as possible. I'm kind of on a time crunch here. I'm taking two little girls to Clarinda today to stay at my parents' house. I need some help watching the kids during the game, so I'm gonna have to get going here before too long. But I'll start with Iowa State and Oklahoma with some thoughts on this football game. Number one is I know Iowa State is a very banged up team, which is unfortunate going into this game, considering. On it, obviously, there's not as much on the line for Iowa State as we thought there might be. However, I can promise you, if you go into that football facility right now, there's a lot on the line, right? Like they really want this game. They had it circled at the beginning of the season, and there's nobody who's been resting on their laurels or whatnot this week at the Iowa State facility. But Iowa State is banged up, and that's a reality we have to, you know, live with today. They are not full strength by any means, but few teams are on November 20th. You have to keep that in mind. And this is the deepest Iowa State team we've had in a long time. So hopefully that depth will come into play today. Real quick, as I take a sip of coffee, you guys should buy these on the Cyclone Fanatic shop. Phenomenal Christmas gift, stocking stuffer. Cyclones versus the world, baby. So that's an aspect of it. How banged up is Iowa State? We never really know because Matt Campbell just doesn't say, which is fine. Not a critique. It's just the way it is. Number two, what I really want to look at today is Oklahoma. It's like they weren't, I don't want to say they weren't up last week against Baylor, but it's like they had everything to play for and they still, I thought we'd see a spike with Oklahoma last week, and I was wrong. I've been wrong about everything the last couple of weeks, but I thought Oklahoma, with everything on the line, it was like coming off of a bye, they're going to peak right now, and they didn't. And so it makes me want to know, like, well, are they? Maybe they're just not that team. Maybe that's not maybe it's not them this year. I'll say this as we get into some of these comments, Brian. Matchups favor Iowa State today. The one for me, and this is crazy. This is absolutely insane that I'm saying this. Like, if you would have thought back, if I would have told you in August, okay, Iowa State's going to face a third string quarterback on the road at Tech against a guy who's never played before, or would you rather play Spencer Rattler or Caleb Williams in Norman? Well, it's easy. You take the Tech scenario, right? Well, that turned out to be a disaster because Iowa State was not ready for that Vince Young lookalike. Today, like, I know exactly what Oklahoma's going to try and do. We see it all the time. Like, and there's not much of a difference between Caleb Williams, who's getting the start, and Spencer Rattler in my mind. In fact, I'd almost rather see Williams today because you can mix up some stuff. He's never seen an Iowa State defense like Rattler has. So that's the one to me. Like, I know the defense has struggled, but I like Haycock, going into this game. I do think the defense has a bounce back week. To what extent, I don't know. But it's fascinating to think about that. Shad nails it. Iowa State can't not play in the first half today. There's no doubt about that. That has been a big problem with this team on the road. Let's see what Brady has to say. Yeah, I mean, Brock didn't play great last week. He wasn't terrible, though. They got to get the run game going, guys. Like, that's the key. We can all throw darts at the quarterback, and what they've got to be able to run the football. And other than a few Brees breakaways, since that Kansas State game, we had a guy on our premium board look all this up. Like, it's been really bad. It's like under 3 yards per carry. So they've got to be able to run the football. If they can't run the football, then it's going to make Brock's life a living hell. And then he's going to look bad, and y'all are going to throw darts at him. Brock isn't perfect. He should have been better last week, but I don't pin that game on him. Not at all. Real quick, shout out to the great Bret Meyer and Dan McCarney, Iowa High School Hall of Fame. That was last night. Very cool. That was awesome to watch. The picture of those two gave me goosebumps. I love both of those guys a lot. Bret will be with me at halftime today here on the stream, of course. Elsewhere today in the Big 12, Texas at West Virginia. West Virginia's a slight favorite in that one. I mean, do we really think Texas can go on the road to beat anybody right now? I don't. Kansas TCU. Baylor at Kansas State's the most fascinating Big 12 game today, in my opinion. Baylor, that game's like a pick 'em. Kansas State may even be favored now. I'm picking Kansas State to upset them. We'll see how that happens. Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. I guess root for Texas Tech in that one. I don't know. I am almost at the point where I want Oklahoma State to get to the playoff, though, because it looks good. Instead, it looks good for the new Big 12 and all that. I'm petty. I'd love to see one of those leftover teams get into the playoff. That'd be really cool. Yeah. Other than that, today, I mean, Will McDonald, it sounds like will be. I do think he's going to play. He may be limited in nature. We'll see how much. Hopefully, he plays every down that he's supposed to. Mike Rose is a key. But I mean, that's really it for me. You've got to be able to run the football with the best running back in the country. If you can't run the football, Iowa State will lose today. Simple as that. I do think that this has the makings to be a lower scoring type affair because I just don't know. Like, I think Oklahoma's defense is probably better than people think. But and I know Iowa State's is. I expect a bounce back. These offenses, I just don't fully trust, though. What's fascinating about this game, and this is what I'll close on. What's fascinating about this game is that if you would have put it right, this was the one that everybody had circled. This was the game of the year in the Big 12. And going into today, if you would ask Iowa State fans like you guys, and then if we had have Oklahoma fans here, nobody's confident. They're just like, I guess we'll go out and play it, right? I do think it bodes well that Iowa State's only like a 3.5 point underdog today because Iowa State, I mean, I'm just looking at your comment. Nobody's confident. Vegas knows something here, and Vegas likes Iowa State to keep this close. The power ratings still love Iowa State even with 4 losses. Not that that matters on the field, but I'm just analyzing the line. Nobody's confident. Somebody's got to win. I mean, I picked Iowa State, but I don't feel good about it. I think it's a 3 to 7 point game either way, regardless of what happens. And I do know that this era of Iowa State football does not give a damn about going to Norman. Like it's kind of like another road trip for them, which has never been the case. Brian, yeah, in the running game and I don't blame Brees. Like I think that Brees has been pretty good. There's just no push. Jackson wants to know on receiver wise. I mean, I think if Iowa State wins today, that Kohler has a huge day. That would be my opinion. I mean, if the running game's not going to be there, you got to kind of pass to create the run, right? And how do you do that? Well, you've got a couple of really good tight ends. You did see that at the end of the Tech game where Kohler became a focal point there in that fourth quarter, and I'm wondering if that doesn't carry over today. I know he's not a receiver, but that would be my instant analysis to that. So anyways, appreciate you guys. I got to bounce. We will be back at halftime. And then, of course, Rob and Jared will have post-game. And I'll have the Instant Reaction podcast, all that good stuff. But total normal game day for us. And hopefully the good guys can go out and steal one on the road. Appreciate y'all. Iowa Clinic Farm Story Meats. Thanks for watching.